Okay, so YouTube, we're back, and my goat is cleaned, is here, and these are all my seasonings. I have scallion, I have red peppers, I have yellow peppers, I have green peppers, I have a little bit of ginger, I have thyme, I have black pepper, I have a little bit of, I'm gonna use um, this seasoning here, uh, perfect seasoning. That's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use my own seasonings, and I'm gonna use garlic. As you can see, my garlic is almost gone because I use it a lot. And I'm gonna use this all-purpose seasoning. I also have this curry powder that I'm gonna use. So I have, these are pimentos. This is what the bag looks like. I also got that from Compare. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I got that from Compare. And let me see, I have onions, tomatoes, and I think that pretty much covered it. Garlic. So I'm gonna drop all this in here with that, and I'm gonna add my seasonings. I'm gonna mix it up, and we're gonna go from there. So put the thyme in there. Gonna drop my garlic. I just used about 2.5 tablespoons of that. I'm gonna put my peppers in there, my green peppers. Put my ginger, a little bit of ginger. My yellow peppers. It's gonna be very colorful. It's gonna be tasteful too. Got my red peppers. Got some tomatoes. Slice them and dice them the way you like. Got onions. Onions always makes things taste good. And we got scallions. Those are onions too. We got a little bit of pimentos. Probably can add a little bit more of those. Not too much. Then you got your seasoning, the perfect seasoning, and this also had the pimento in it, peppercorn. So I'm gonna put that in there. Season to your taste. We're gonna mix that all up.
Here we go.
We got garlic. I know we already added garlic, but like I said, do it how you think. And a lot of times I just use what I think it is. Try not to put too much. That way you can go back and say, well, I think I need a little bit more of this and a little bit more of that. And this is the all-purpose seasoning. This has salt in it as well. So I'm not going to use that much of it. So I'll sprinkle, let me see. Maybe about that much. Mix it up. Get my curry powder. Can't forget that. And curry powder will change, make your hands turn color. So that's one reason why I got these gloves on, because make your hands turn colors. So use butter. That's about a half a cup. mix it up. I'll be back with you shortly. So I'm back, and I just want you to have mixed it up. Looks good, huh? Might look even better once we cook it. All right, so I also have a pot on the stove that I'm gonna take this curry season, and I'm gonna I have oil in the pot, and I'm gonna heat it up so I can brown this a little bit. But I'm gonna use my crock pot today. Usually you take the curry and let it sit overnight, but I'm gonna cook it today because I want to eat it today. So they say it tastes better that way, but we're gonna enjoy it today. I'm sure it tastes better, good, either way, we're gonna enjoy it. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this is my pot that I'm using. That's my oil that's in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of this curry seasoning, and I'm gonna let it brown, and then I'm gonna add my meat to it, and then I'm gonna transfer it over to my crock pot because that's what I'm gonna cook it in. I'm gonna let it simmer in that. I can let it cook in this pot. I got a little more grease than I wanted in here. I decided to pour some of that grease off. So I'm gonna take my bowl with the goat and the seasoning and the meat, and I'm gonna pour it into this pot. Okay? Okay, this is the curry goat in the pot, and we're gonna put the lid on it and let it cook down a little bit before we transfer it over. We're not gonna add any juices or anything to it. We're just gonna let it brown. All right, and I'm just gonna add a lid to that. Okay, so the lid is on, and we'll come back to that in about 4 minutes. Okay? Okay, so that's about 4 minutes into it, and as you can see, it's making its own juice. See that? It looks and smells really good. So I am going to put the lid back on it and let it cook a few minutes more, and then I'm gonna add some water to it. And as I said, I'm gonna, instead of sitting here just constantly watching it, I'm gonna let it simmer in my crock pot that I have over there, the Elite Gourmet crock pot. And we're gonna let that joker simmer and cook for the rest of the day for a couple of more hours. I'm gonna leave it and go on about my business and do what I want to do. Okay? All right, we'll be back shortly. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so as you can see, it has come to a boil, but eventually it will probably dry out. So I'm gonna add, I have like 2 cups of water here. I'm just gonna add that to it. And I'm gonna let it cook for a minute before I transfer it over to my crock pot. I can leave it on the stove and let it cook, but I got other things I want to do. So rather than let it stick and keep coming back and forth and stirring, I'm going to put it in the crock pot and let it cook, and that way I don't have to worry about it burning. So again, this is what it looks like. After I transfer it to the crock pot, I'll show you what it looks like, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay? Okay, so this is my crock pot, and I put it on for about 4 hours. We're down to 3 hours and 56 minutes, and we're gonna just let it simmer in the pot. Now I'll show you what it looks like. All right, and this is what it looks like in the crock pot. And we're just gonna let it simmer and cook. And I'll probably have some yellow rice and pinto beans with it. And we'll show you the plate when we finish. All right, let me put the lid on this. We're gonna let it cook down and simmer. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so the curry goat has cooked down, and we have about an hour and 12 minutes left. You can always add a little bit of salt to season the taste, and if you need a little more seasoning, feel free to add your seasoning too. A little pepper as well, black pepper. So I decided that I'm gonna add some potatoes. We got some perfect pear bite-sized potatoes that I'm gonna add. I just rinsed them off, cleaned them real good, and I'm gonna drop them in. And I'll let you see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what the curry goat potatoes looks like. And we're just gonna continue to let that cook for the next hour. We have some that's tender, some of that goat that's tender, and some that's not. So we're just gonna let it continue to cook, and we'll see you shortly. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, YouTube, here you have it. Yellow rice, pinto beans and kidney beans with turkey, and goat with potatoes. All right? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy.